I want to talk about the narcissistic spectrum. And for me, this is my guideline. I start at 1 and end at 10. 1 for me is the classic narcissist. Then as I move to 2, 3, 4, I call this the overt narcissist. And then 5 is in the middle. 6, 7, 8 is the covert narcissist. So a 5 for me is going to be 50% overt, 50% covert. So 6, 7, 8 covert, and then around 9 is going to be the absolute worst type of covert narcissist. 10 is going to be a full-on sociopath. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to describe how I think and view the different types of narcissists as I go up the scale. This is just a guideline that I use personally so that when I am engaging with someone that I believe is toxic, I will, in my mind, try to figure out where they are on the 1 to 10 scale. And I do this so that I am better prepared to communicate with them and negotiate what's going to happen between the two of us. Because the way that you communicate with what I consider a 1, a very mild classic narcissist, is going to be very different than how I will communicate with a 9, 10 on the narcissistic spectrum. So now I've told you why I have this guideline that I follow. Now I'm going to go into a little more detail and describe how I view the different types of narcissists as I move up the scale. So for me, a 1, I call this the classic narcissist. And this is someone, picture some Barbie and Ken. You know, it's someone who is 100% superficial. I think of them as a bright, shiny new car with nothing under the hood. It's all show. All of your conversations will be incredibly superficial. In my opinion, this 1 on the narcissist scale is someone who is only after positive, mild narcissistic supply, meaning they only want praise, attention, fans. They want to be admired. They want everyone to be pea green with envy when they see them and hang out with them. It's all about their outside persona. Usually these people are either really into exercise and fitness and plastic surgery and their hair and makeup, or if it's a guy, he's really buff and into exercising. That's one stereotype. The other one could be someone who is not physically healthy, but they have a very nice car, a very nice house. It's all show. Because this is what they want others to envy what they have. They lie and manipulate to get positive narcissistic supply. They don't want negative supply. So they will not resort to nasty, sadistic behavior because they don't want to out themselves as being bad people. It's very important that they're seen as kind and generous and intelligent. Their outside persona is incredibly important to them, and that's why they focus on positive narcissistic supply. In my opinion, the classic narcissist will only resort to negative supply, which you would get through arguing and fighting. when they're incredibly desperate. So in general, that's how I categorize a 1-2 on the narcissist scale. I call them the classic narcissist. They're superficial. There's nothing under the hood. They don't have empathy for others. They will lie and manipulate. But it's not as sadistic as you move up the scale. They also, I think the classic narcissists tend to use their sexuality a lot more. They're exploiting people with money, education, sexuality. They're using these things those are their tools for manipulating. Unlike the overt narcissist, who will view narcissistic supply in a very different way. An overt narcissist is happy to take positive or negative supply. They'll take mild supply in with attention and envy, but they're also just as happy to take negative narcissistic supply off of people, which is starting fights, which is being nasty. So you can see this. There's a big change from the 1-2 classic narcissist, in my opinion, to the 3-4, the overt narcissist. So the overt narcissist will have all of the traits that the classic narcissist has, but they are going to get nasty. They are verbally, emotionally, and sometimes physically abusive. They are nasty individuals. They tend not to be as passive-aggressive as the 5, in my opinion. The 5 is when the passive-aggressive trait really starts to highlight in the narcissist, in my opinion, on the scale. I just came up with this scale for my own personal use, so it's not based on anything that's been documented that I know of. It's just stuff I've taken from a lot of different YouTubers and articles that I've read online. That's it. So for me, the 5 on the scale is going to be half overt, half covert. So they will just ricochet back and forth between being overt and then being very passive aggressive. When I move into the 6, 7, 8 on the scale, I call this the covert narcissist. So the covert narcissist can also have traits of the classic narcissist and the overt, but 90% of the time they are going to be covert, which means that they are going to be very cunning, and they rely on being passive aggressive and gaslighting to get what they want from the target. In my opinion, the covert narcissist is of higher intelligence. And I say this because, in my opinion, the overt narcissist does not have self-control, which is why they're very quick to lose their temper. They become physically violent very quickly. They out themselves because they don't have self-control. The passive-aggressive covert narcissist, in my opinion, they have more self-control and they're much more aware of what they're doing, in my opinion. I think of the classic and overt narcissist as lower level, lower intelligent narcissists who are less aware of what is going on around them. They are, I'd say, much more delusional in what's happening. They're just not as clever. The covert narcissist is also delusional, but they have more self-control and they put a lot more time and effort into the manipulation. I think the overt narcissist, a lot of the manipulation is not well thought out. It's not, they don't sit back and think, ooh, how can I do this? They just are, blah, and they just do what they want when they want. They're like little kids. They just gotta have it now. Whereas the covert narcissist has more patience. They realize, hey, you know what? I'm gonna back away and think about how to manipulate you so that I will get a maximum return on my investment into you. So that's how I differentiate the overt and covert narcissist. Now I'm going to move on to the 9 covert narcissist. To me, a 9 covert narcissist is the absolute worst type of narcissist on earth. And what differentiates a 9 covert narcissist and a sociopath is that the covert narcissist is still addicted to narcissistic supply. They need people. Therefore, if you take a covert narcissist and you lock them away in a cabin for a year without any people around, they will become incredibly depressed and they will eventually become schizoid. They go insane without people around because that's their drug of choice. In contrast, the sociopath, you can lock them away in a cabin for a year and they're fine with that. They can isolate for long periods of time without any problem. And after a year, they can walk out of the cabin and they will be just as healthy as they were when they went in. And they'll roll into town and say, hey, everybody, what's up? What's up? I'm the sociopath. Yeah, and so that's the difference between the sociopath and the severe covert narcissist. And that's how you can really tell the difference, because one can isolate and the other one cannot. But their tactics and strategies, they're equally nasty. There's no difference between the covert narcissist and the sociopath except for the narcissistic supply addiction. That's it. So I think that's it. This is the narcissistic spectrum that I follow, and I use it to guide me when I meet new toxic people. That's it. See you later. Bye.